Miss World did add value. Like I said, that there's a certain level of popularity that you have after Miss World. As an actor, I did have to start from scratch. You always have to realize that you are a person who's starting afresh, and you should always be okay with that. And you need to keep your ego aside.
Hello and namaskar, आप देख रहे हैं India.com C Media and this is Tanya Garg. Well, in conversation today we have with us the beautiful, the versatile Manushi Chhillar. Not only that, she's made us proud globally and well, she continues to do so. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Tanya.
So first of all, congratulations. We're so looking forward to your movie Bade Miyan, Chote Miyan, and you're also doing your Telugu debut with Operation Valentine. So kudos to you on that.
Thank you.
So, do you think that crown helps you in the industry? Does it make the process of getting the films a little easier? Because I remember that Priyanka said in one of her interviews that, even though the world recognized her, she actually had to introduce herself to the people, that, yeah, I am this. So, what is your take on that?
Well, that's something you'll always have to do in life. You can't take things for granted just because you have a certain platform. For me, I was very fortunate, and what Miss World added to my life is the fact that I had exposure. People in the industry knew of me and knew about me. So hence, I was a name which was considered for a lot of films simply because I was everywhere. So I think that's how Miss World adds value. But if I look at myself as an actor, I did have to start from scratch. I do have to. I mean, even you do have to go walk in, and you are a newcomer, and you have to understand the fact that people might know of you, but you have to introduce yourself to them. If there's a senior director or a producer or a senior actor, I would always be the one who would walk up and say, hello. Although, the industry has been really kind and really sweet. They'd be like, we know you. But you do start from scratch. It's not that I don't think, as Miss World, I've ever taken it for granted that just because I have a crown, and people should just things should just fall into place. And that's a learning in life. There'll be wonderful things that'll happen. You'll get wonderful platforms to showcase who you are and to reach out to people. But more than that, you always have to realize that you are a person who's starting afresh, and you should always be okay with that. And you need to keep your ego aside. And that's what I did. And Miss World did add value. Like I said, that there's a certain level of popularity that you have after Miss World. There's also a certain exposure. You kind of get comfortable talking to the camera. Those are the few things that kind of help. And your name is something which is known to people in the industry. But beyond that, as an actor, you have to start from scratch. You have to pretty much figure it out like any other newcomer and any other outsider.
How lovely! Wow. So, are you finally getting the kind of films that you always wanted to do?
I have been very lucky in that manner. I always wanted to do a period film, and I did debut in one. And after that, my only goal was to do films where I get to play different kinds of characters. I get to work with different directors so that I can also learn. I didn't grow up thinking I'm going to become an actor. So for me, it's also like a learning experience. I'm also trying to do like my little crash course on the side while I'm working. So in that space, I'd say that I have gotten a lot of diverse roles and different genres of films that I've done. Not like I've done a lot of films, but I have my third release on the 1st of March, Operation Valentine. So I've been trying to take up that kind of work, and so far so good.
Being Miss World, it takes some sort of responsibility in the sense that you have to be more than your male counterparts' love interest. And kudos to you for that because so far you've been doing that. Say, Great Indian Family. You were this individual, independent character, and people loved you no matter what the fate of the film was. You
Oh,
had
we got great reviews from people.
exactly. And your character really stood out, in that sense, and what I'm talking about. And then, as Princess Sayongita, you took a stand for what you believed in. So, is that a conscious practice, or is this something that want to follow up?
I feel for that I'll thank Yash Raj Films, because it's not you don't. I mean, of course, there were many films that I could have debuted in, but in a way, your first film chooses you, and they trusted me with a project where it was a role where I wasn't just a pretty face. Even though I was a newcomer, they trusted me with that role and they believed in me, and I think that was a very big kick for a newcomer. But at the same time, I'd say that you know it is important, and it things are changing in the industry. It's not, it doesn't just come with a title. I feel that women have taken up roles. There are a lot of films that are being made which are women centric. Recently I was watching a film called Three of Us, and Shifali Shah has done, ma'am has done such a good job, and it's so important that people are now talking about female characters and female centric stories, and about films from the perspective of a female. So it generally comes as an artist, as someone who's working in the film industry as an actor. You do have a sense of responsibility to represent women of the society. In Operation Valentine, I'm playing a radar controller, and I've grown up watching a lot of different war films or different films on the armed forces, where normally men take center stage. And it's so nice to see, now we have also seen other females in our industry play women from the armed forces, because there are women in the armed forces, and they have equal representation. They have as much contribution as any other officer. So cinema is a reflection of the society and vice versa. So it's important to represent these women on screen. It's important to show women are equal contributors to society.
I love how beautiful you're answering to all my questions. Also, on a lighter note, I want to know, did you have any fun memory on the sets of Bade Miyan, Chote Miyan? Because there are a lot of actors in the film. So, one core memory, something that stayed with you.
I can't really speak about the film right now.
But some memory, something that.
Am I in Bade Miyan Chhoti Miyan? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't
Okay,
know.
you,
But I can tell you about a great memory I have from the sets of Operation Valentine. It's a little prank that my team played over there. This is before I'd met Varun Tej, my co-actor, and because we were shooting for different films, you know, our we did our separate sections in the movie first. So I started shooting for all of my solo portions. Then he shot for his solo portions, and after like almost finishing like 40% of the film, that's when we actually met and we started shooting together. So we'd never met before. And when I went on set, just to like play a little prank on me, and because I was like the debutante, I was the new girl who's come into the South industry. They told me that he has a title called Mega Prince, and you can't call him by name; you have to call him Mega Prince. I was like, oh really? And then I was like, okay, fine. Then tell him he has to call me Miss World. Okay, he can't call me Manushi. It was a joke. They all wanted me to kind of go on set and like maybe just be like call him Mega Prince, and they just wanted to scare me. But of course it's not like that, and I think the joke kind of backfired. And then I went in and I told Varun, I was like, I was a little tattletale, and I said, these guys are doing this to me. So I think that's a fun memory I have from set.
Worked as an icebreaker for both of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, lovely. And on that note, thank you so much for joining us today. It was
Thank you.